This is Africa International Network.
On the 28th of July 2016, people all over Sweden joined the rest of the world in a movement that has established itself worldwide as Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter demonstration in Sweden took place at Sergels Torg in Stockholm, and in attendance hundreds of thousands of individuals from and beyond Sweden. People of different social groups gathered not only to show solidarity with blacks in the US, but to make particular demands of their own. Recent intensifications in Black Lives Matter protests have been triggered by recent rampant killings of blacks by white police officers in the United States. AITV took a number of participants at Stockholm's demonstration, and they had a number of viewpoints and demands to make. Watch for yourselves. So this kind of solidarity we're having with our brothers and sisters over in the US, do you think it's going to have an impact in one way or the other, either here in Sweden or in the US or everywhere in the world?
I hope so. I hope it gives the people in the USA and the people in the power there some type of motivation to keep on the fight, and as well as keep fighting the wrongs that are being done to blacks. But also, I personally hope that it will motivate the countries to change, even here in Europe, that we start to read more of history of slaves, of how mistreated blacks have been for 400 years back. And I think that's where we need to start, because personally, when I went to school, I didn't read a lot about, they don't focus that much in that part of history. They focus a lot about what happened to the Jews with Hitler and what happened in Europe specifically, but they don't really talk that much about what we did to blacks and to other minorities like the American natives to get to where we are today, to the fabulous life that we are today. I think that is a really important thing to have in mind, why we are so blessed and so established today.
Hello, Kitimbo, and thanks for having taken the time to talk to AITV.
Thank you for having me, Ralph.
We're standing here at this rally, Black Lives Matter. What does Black Lives Matter for you?
Well, for me, it's a very significant statement that needs to be made in a time when black lives still doesn't hold the value that white life seems to have. Not in the way we talk about life, but in the way we practice protecting human lives, where we see that black lives still doesn't matter the way white lives matter.
What about the statement that goes around around the world saying all lives matter, blue lives matter, and stuff like that? Do you think it's detracting the movement of Black Lives Matter?
Most definitely, and I wished I could say that it's a statement that comes from a position of lack of understanding, but I think it's even more pernicious than that. It's actually people who wants to derail the Black Lives Matter movement, to shine the light away from the atrocities that are being committed towards black bodies all over the world globally, and rather speak about other issues. And that's why I think that this all lives matter things that they're using is very, very sinister.
And so you would say that Black Lives Matter, it doesn't deny the fact that other lives matter?
Well, of course not. The situation is this, is that the dignity and the value of black lives is being challenged systematically globally. There's no such challenge to white lives. So why would anyone go around saying white lives matter as if there's been any challenge to that? However, every single day as we speak, black lives, the value of black lives is being challenged in the Mediterranean, in the United States, in Africa, and of course in Stockholm, Sweden also.
And one speaker told me that for Black Lives Matter to really have an impact, Africans themselves back in Africa need to embrace the movement. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's true, but I will also say that I think that Africans have embraced the movement in the sense that it's on the continent of Africa where we are struggling every day for survival in a global context that puts Africa and African lives down. So just surviving is a way of embracing the Black Lives Matter movement. We shouldn't deny that reality. And of course, organizing is a different thing. And in that sense, yes, I think that Africa and Africans in Africa can organize, and we can also organize right here.
Thank you, Kitimwa.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
What is your name and where you come from?
My name is Ashley Brown, and I come from the United States.
We are here today witnessing Black Lives Matter. What does it mean for you?
It means that it's not just in the United States that we're trying to fight and be recognized as a people, but it's all over the world now. It's starting to spread. And I think that's a lovely thing.
You're wearing on your shirt here, I see at the back, it says strive for black excellence. Is that correct? What does that mean?
Strive for Black excellence means that we have to respect ourselves. Knowledge is power, so we have to start to strive for most knowledge. Go out and read books that are written by us, and go out and find the knowledge that they're not teaching us in schools. And to be excellent as a person means to carry yourself with much respect and much pride.
Sophia and Linnea, you are here at this event today, Black Lives Matter. What does it mean for you guys?
For me, it means a lot. I'm married to an African American man. I lived in the States. I've seen the police brutality. I've seen the discrimination. I know my black family over in the States, how they're suffering, how they don't want to leave their house, how they don't even want to go to the store. And it hurts me. It hurts to my soul.
And you're here to speak specifically to whom?
I'm just here to show my support, do what I can, because we can't stay quiet. We can't act like what's going on in the world, and the oppression of people of color everywhere, like that doesn't affect the world as a whole, and like we are okay with that. No.
Thank you very much. What is Black Lives Matter for you?
Well, I just think it's very important as a white person to recognize what is happening and to get allied in the fight for justice. And I don't have a personal connection to it, but I think it's really important to show that all people are equal and that Black lives really matter.
So you're for humanity in general?
Yeah, for humanity in general, and to speak up against the injustice that's happening in the States and the racism that's growing, like in Europe and in America.
Black Lives Matter for me is a community where I can defend my life in the social world with my siblings, where I can feel included and how do you say it? Important, where I can feel important.
And this importance that you want to feel, how do you think we can take it out of this community here to the world out there, to those who matter, those who are in power, and even those who are oppressing the community that stands here?
Exactly. If we shall be able to do that, we have to get the government's help. And right now, the governments aren't helping so much, so we need, first of all, that all the politicians listen and hear our voices as we say that we don't want to die anymore in vain, and yeah.
So look to the camera there and tell one or two politicians what is it that you really want as a black person.
Okay.
And as a human being, of course.
Yeah. To Barack Obama, I want you to listen to all our lives. I want you to take in trans lives, LGBT, everyone, and I want you just to make sure that we don't die anymore in vain. That you speak to the police that are out there and brutally killing our siblings every day. That you make sure that we can walk safely on our streets without have the fear of being killed. And to Stefan Löfven here in Sweden, I want you to listen to the black people. I don't want you to take in American polices with guns on our airports so that we shall feel more unsafe in our own country.
Thank you very much, Isaac.
Thank you.
Well, one of the things that I would say is that they should stop segregating us. I think that, the class thing is one of the most of the thing that's making us not moving forward, and even start to have a more socialized ways to think of the society, because I think that with the capitalism exactly, thank you, is that it makes us it's making us harder to organize, because we're all thinking about trying to get roof on the top and thinking about ourselves individually. So if we have more like making it easier and cheaper for everyone to, be in the society, I think that Black lives especially could more start organizing much more.
And you would say if we all come together as a society, as one society, would it be beneficial not only to blacks but to other members of the society?
Yes, of course, because black people, especially black people, are in the race hierarchy, the race pyramid or whatever you call it. They're literally down below, and even if you see that in colorism too, in places in Asia where darker Asian people getting discriminated because of their skin, and you see the industry starting to putting out bleaching products just to get this what they call fair skin.
Black Lives Matter for me, because I am a black, as you see, but as I told you, we all have one color of tongue. It is a red tongue all over. All the people have the same color. I don't differentiate myself. And I have a very bad experience during my study in Russia. I respect Russian people. There is good people, but there is still racism there. I have been beaten here in my hand, and my friends were killed in front of me.
So by whom? What did they kill?
By fascism and racism there, skinheads and this bullshit there. So I feel that there is a weakness in black people themselves. We have to be organized, and we have to know that we are human beings. No one better than us. We have to know that in our subconsciousness, and to forget that we were colonized or something like that, and we have to go forward for our rights.
This movement organized here today, Black Lives Matter, do you think this is enough for such an organization that you were talking about? Africans should organize or blacks should organize?
For me, it's not enough. We need more. We need more. We need to encourage first black people themselves. There has to be movements in Africa, all over Africa. Africa unite, as Bob Marley said.
Hello, Malcolm Jallo. You're coming all the way from Malmö here to Stockholm for Black Lives Matter. What is Black Lives Matter for you?
Black Lives Matter is basically saying that our life is as valuable as any other person's life. And standing here today, we are not only showing solidarity to black people living in the United States, but we are showing solidarity to all oppressed black people, regardless if you're in Africa, South America, if you're in the United States, or wherever you are, because black lives have been oppressed for over 400 or 500 years, including in Sweden and Europe, and it continues to be oppressed and dehumanized and denigrated in Europe just as much as in the United States.
And to those oppressors, what would you say, looking at the camera here? What would you tell them?
I would say end the violence, end the denigration, and all kinds of brutality that you perpetrating against black people, because this is something that's been going on for too long, and we don't want it to end tomorrow or next week. We want it to end now. So you better put up policies that make this disappear, because if not, you're creating a race war, and we don't want that. We need to come and find a common place, a common ground. And to find a common ground, we need to respect every person, regardless of your race, your color, your creed, or where you come from. So make sure you have policies that would end the violence against black people now.
Thank you, Malcolm. I hope your words are heard.
Thank you for having me.
What is Black Lives Matter for you?
Black Lives Matter is just, we're here, we've been here. No one hears us, no one listens to us. We have not been acknowledged and respected like white people in the past, and we're just here to make sure people know that we do matter. We all matter. We just need people to understand that Black Lives Matter as much as any other human being on this world, because we're equals at the end of the day.
And what about the saying that goes around now that all lives matter? Do you think this distracts this movement from its core value?
I think that, I think all lives matter, but I think it does distract it a little bit. But I think the concept of the statement all lives matter is very accurate. But the thing is, white people, they have always had control, their lives have always mattered. Black people did not have that privilege. We've never had the privilege to be heard and to be listened to, and that's why people say Black Lives Matter. And we just need to raise the awareness that we are here too. And I think that's the most important goal.
Hello, Marie Gaye. I do understand you're one of the organizers of Black Lives Matters today. How did you get about organizing this number of people who are here today?
How I made all these people come? Well, we just started an event on Facebook, and we invited all of our friends, and it just became bigger and bigger, and everyone started to invite all of their friends. And we really didn't expect that this many people would come, so it's amazing that this many people came to support our sisters and brothers.
What do you think you've achieved here today?
I hope that I've achieved some lights on this subject, and that it gets more talking about in Sweden, and that people realize that what's happening in America, it affects us all, black people, and kind of like that.
Are you planning on a next event like this sometime in the future?
I hope that I don't have to do it. I hope that the police brutality will stop and we don't have to make an event like this. But if it does, then I have nothing against doing this.
So we do hope that we don't have the need to do this anymore. Thank you very much, Marie Gaye. And if we do still have the need to do this, I do hope that we can still count on you.
What did you say again?
I do hope that we can still count on you if we do need to organize like this again.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.